Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Scott, and welcome to the Curator's office at the museum. This is where you're going on your field trip today to an art museum to see many beautiful artworks. At the Curator's office, you'll learn about artworks. You'll learn about the exhibits that you're going to see in the museum. You'll learn where they are located in the museum. So anytime you go to a museum, step by the Curator's office and find out what all they have to offer. So, what do we have to offer here at the museum today? Well, you're going to have many rooms. So once you leave the curator's office, go to the lobby. You will see many arrows pointing you to different rooms. Choose a room. Doesn't matter if you want to start at room 1 or start at room 6. Just click in there. And on the wall, you're going to see artworks that you can go up to. Click on them again. And then it will take you to another space where you'll see the artwork up close. If you click the painting or print again, you're going to be able to go to a video that will further educate you on the artist or the art style. If you were at a real art museum, we couldn't really click on the art and really go up to it and touch it with our hands. In fact, this is a painting behind me that my husband did years ago. This was a place that he lived in Knoxville, Tennessee, when we were going to school. It was an old house that had been converted into apartments, and he actually lived in the space right here in the middle. It was really a beautiful space. But look at this painting. Let's talk about it. First of all, couldn't touch it if it were in a museum. Do you want to know why? The reason why is because we have natural oils in our hands, and if you touch things, you are leaving oil and things all over the artwork, and it could damage it. Especially in a museum where there's famous paintings by artists, they do not want it damaged. It would be worth a lot of money, and we won't be able to see it again if it's ruined. So they want to keep your hands off. So good tip: if you're in a real art museum, you're going to put your hands down by your side or behind your back. And you can go up to it, look at it, but you do not have to touch it, as tempting as it is. And I promise you, it is tempting. I want to touch them sometimes too, but we got to put on our best behavior when we're in a museum and not touch it. So look at this painting, for example. When you look at it, you can see it's a house, correct?
Yes!
Does it look realistic, like something that would really be outside? On first glance, you may be like, yeah, looks like a house. But you know what? Look at the columns. Purples, painterly looking marks. Do columns on a house really have purple marks? Not really. Some of this stuff is a little painterly. Like when I say painterly, I see paint splotches, paint movement on there, and paint strokes. Is that really what realistic house looks like? No. Am I knocking my husband's artwork? Absolutely not. This is one of my favorite artworks he did. This artwork is done more of an abstract expressionist view. And what I mean by that is he kind of did colors that he felt more about the house, showing more movement and more color that was not so real. So that's where the abstract part comes in. Expressive. Look at that sky. The movement of the sky and the blues and the purples and all comes back into this house. And speaking of the house, what perspective is it? I mean, when I say perspective, that's the view. What are we looking at? Are we looking down a hall? Are we looking down on the house? Are we looking what direction? What perspective, in other words, are we taking on this house? It's so cool. It's looking like we're down here, looking up at it. And we're looking up at it as it reaches into the sky and points us upward. Love this painting. I love it. It's not just an average painting of a house. It is an expressionistic view of a house. Well, guess what I just did to that house? I gave an art criticism report on it for you. And guess what? That's what you guys are going to be doing today. When you go into this virtual museum and you can click on these artworks, you can click them, you can go and look at the videos, you can return back to the lobby, go back to the rooms. But I would like you to look at the artwork. Maybe find one that really speaks to you. And I want you to do this writing assignment. It's called I See, I Think, and I Wonder. What do you see? That's pretty easy. Do you see colors? Well, what colors? Do you see, what is it, an object like a house or a person? What is it? Just giving description about that object and that painting, or just the painting. It may not be any object. Then, I think this is what might be going on here. This is a picture of a person, for example. This is a picture of a house or whatever it may be. So you give your, I think, what it might be. And then I wonder if the artist was trying to say something to me with this. I wonder if he painted this person this way because, or I wonder about that person. What time period is that person from? There's a lot of things to wonder about artwork, and all of it is just your opinion. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. It's just you writing about the artwork. The other assignment, if you want to do this one, is called compare contrast. Like, for example, if you go in room number 1, you're going to see 2 portraits of 2 famous ladies, and I'm not going to tell you who they are because you got to go find it yourself. But 2 famous ladies that I think you all know, and I know you know one really well. But anyway, these 2 portraits are totally opposite. So when I say contrast, I mean the opposites. You're going to be able to find a lot of things that contrast with each other that are totally opposite. Compare them. What's similar? What's the same? So compare, talk about what's the same. Contrast, what's different? What could be the uniting factor in that painting too? Talk about it. You can use the forms that I give you on your website that I've linked you with. I've got 2 forms that you can actually fill in. I see, I think, I wonder, or the compare contrast, or just write it yourself. Use, Microsoft Word or whatever you have and just type out some opinions and things that you see. Be sure to name the painting, name the artist, and tell me what you're doing because I don't want to be able to guess what you're talking about. I want to know what it is that you're looking at. And then I'd love to hear what you've got to say about those famous artworks in this museum today. Remember, when you click on the rooms, you can return back. There are arrows on every page telling you to go back to a space that you went in before. Or you can click the arrow going to the next artifact or the next exhibit, and that will tell you, show you the next artwork. Also, there are a couple rooms that are closed for renovation right now. You'll not be able to go in them, but you can go in the other ones. So, super fun. This is our art field trip today, virtual field trip. I cannot wait to see what you look at and how much fun you're going to have. And please send me your comments. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And thank you for coming and visiting the museum.